It might be objected that all these forms of intervention are really not coercive, but voluntary, for in a democracy they are supported by the majority of the people. But this support is usually passive, resigned, and apathetic, rather than eager, whether the state is a democracy or not. In a democracy, the non-voters can hardly be said to support the rulers, and neither can the voters for the losing side. But even those who voted for the winners may well have voted merely for the lesser of two evils. The interesting question is, why do they have to vote for any evil at all? Such terms are never used by people when they act freely for themselves or when they purchase goods on the free market. No one thinks of his new suit or refrigerator as an evil, lesser or greater. In such cases, people think of themselves as buying positive goods, not as resignedly supporting a lesser bad. The point is that the public never has the opportunity of voting on the state system itself. They are caught up in a system in which coercion over them is inevitable. Be that as it may, as we have said, all states are supported by a majority, whether a voting democracy or not. Otherwise, they could not long continue to wield force against the determined resistance of the majority. However, the support may simply reflect apathy, perhaps from the resigned belief that the state is a permanent, if unwelcome, fixture of nature. Witness the motto, "Nothing is as permanent as death and taxes." Setting all these matters aside, however, and even granting that a state might be enthusiastically supported by a majority, we still do not establish its voluntary nature, for the majority is not society, is not everyone. Majority coercion over the minority is still coercion. Since states exist, and they are accepted for generations and centuries, we must conclude that a majority are at least passive supporters of all states, for no minority can for long rule an actively hostile majority. In a certain sense, therefore, all tyranny is majority tyranny, regardless of the formalities of the government structure. But this does not change our analytic conclusion of conflict and coercion as a corollary of the state. The conflict and coercion exist, no matter how many people coerce how many others.